Today, I will have enough data point using these AI tools to go back and tell him that his degree doesn't matter, his experience matter, which is verified already by using these AI tools.
AI is here to enable the recruitment team.
Recruiters have got the capability now to screen candidates.
Life seems like revolving around AI these days. You will not get replaced by AI, but definitely with somebody who's utilizing AI better than anybody else.
So where the AI is underutilized a lot is giving back real feedbacks.
If somebody is a 9 out of 10 and that person is underpaid, that
Yeah.
person should know their strength, that I am in the top 10% of this technology.
Yeah. The first thing that you need to do is fix if your recruitment process is broken or not.
Welcome to another episode of Einstellen.AI's podcast series, where we decode the future of hiring through innovation, data, and bold ideas. The hiring landscape is shifting fast. A 2024 Mercer report reveals that 62% of organizations globally now use AI in at least one stage of hiring. But are we truly solving better problem or just speeding up the old ones? With talent gaps widening and resumes overloads rising, it's clear that system needs more than just automation. It needs clarity, context, and trust. Things AI can promise, but only thoughtful leadership can deliver. Now, here's a number to pause on. 54% of CHROs today believe AI in hiring is no longer experimental. It is foundational, but while tech is transforming how we hire, the question is who is leading the thinking behind the shift? The question brings us to our guest, Mr. Aakash Singh, who's got over 13 plus years of experience in talent acquisition. He has mentored 13,000 plus professionals globally. He's been named Asia's youngest leader in the talent space and recognized as TESOL top 40 under 40 ADP list, top 1% mentor, and TEDx speaker. I am running out of breath in order to ensure that I kind of cover each and everything that you've done. Thank you so much, Akash, for taking out time and doing this for us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Einstellen Podcast.
Thank you so much, Zubair. I really appreciate you and the team reaching out to me about this conversation. I'm excited to talk about it because though AI is definitely a new game changer in the world, but then also sometimes we overlook roles like recruitment when we talk about technology. So excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Akash. While before we get started, with the questions, I want to touch base on you being the author of Empty Paycheck. Challenging how we define success at work. Do you want to talk maybe about it, and then make our audience understand what is it about, if they have
Hmm.
to read it or not?
Sure, sure. Uh, so the empty paycheck was never supposed to be a book. Uh, I am a guy that loves to rant, but to myself. So I would sit down and I would just write about the things that I kept on learning in my career. So just to give you a little bit of background, I came from an engineering background. I was an automobile engineer, and I started working very early in my career, probably when I was in the first year of my college itself. I started working and doing very odd jobs back then. I landed up at a startup wherein I got the chance to actually learn how to do talent acquisition and recruiting while I was coming from an engineering background, which I absolutely hated. Uh, I thought that this was something that I could do. And it all started off just as a paycheck kind of a thing, so I could get some money and just use it for things that I should probably not say on this podcast. But I started making money out of it. It was just for the money in the beginning, but as I kept on going in my career, I realized that a career is much more than just a paycheck. Uh, the majority of us work month to month for that 30th day or the first day of the month when we land the salaries in our accounts. But the moment that you identify that that's not it, that's not the only thing that matters, you are actually able to find something that is not just passion. Again, a lot of people will come in and say that, hey, you should do what you're passionate about. But I say a little differently. You should also try to focus on what your purpose is. And there are a lot of incidents that happened that brought me here where I am today through this journey. And whatever I've experienced in my life, I've tried to cover in that book. I actually covered how can, and it's all scientific based, it's all neuroscience based, on how can you actually identify your purpose, how can you link your purpose to your passion, and then how can you actually do it in the career and also make money out of it, right? I was very passionate about playing cricket, but I knew that if I played cricket, I would not make anything, right? So it's not just about your passion. Your passion changes as you go ahead with your life. You want to become something else when you were young. It keeps on changing as you go through life. So this book is about that. This book is about how you identify your purpose, how you build your career around your purpose, how you align whatever your passion is with your purpose, and then build a career around it so that you don't get tired, number one, doing whatever you are doing. And number two is you'd actually not wait for only 30th, but you'll be happy waking up every Monday as well, is what it's book about.
Awesome. I mean, sounds fantastic. I think I definitely would want to read that as well. Looks like every Indian story, right?
Yeah,
Follow passion, cannot make money following passion, and then
yeah,
how do you keep yourself motivated in your job, wherein you're just not working for paycheck, rather having fun while working, right? So I think
yeah.
it is super exciting. I would love to have my hands on it. We would
Sure.
also put a description in our video, so people
Hmm.
who are watching this video can also actually have a look at it. They'd also get an opportunity to read
Hmm.
that.
Really appreciate it.
Perfect. Now let's get down to the business, Akash. And I think I would definitely want to touch base on some of the topics that have
Hmm.
actually taken the industry by storm,
Hmm.
which is around life seems like revolving around AI these days.
Yeah,
Everybody is talking about it wherever you go, whether you're having a conversation with a client, you are going to a conference, you talking to your friend, colleague, everybody is talking about AI. So I think I've got few questions for you, which I think you would be the best person to answer those questions. So my first question to you, Akash, is in your view, how has the recruiter's role evolved in the last 5 years? And what
hmm,
parts of the role do you think are now obsolete with
hmm.
AI in the picture?
Okay, so if I go back 5 years from now, was probably, around that time when actually AI started coming up to the horizon. By the way, the AI has been in the market, AI, machine learning, data science, it all has been there since 2015 or even before that. I've been in touch with this concept since 2015 because the company that I was working for back then, we used to hire for a lot of data scientists, big data engineers who were transversing into the AI field back then. So when I talk about 5 years ago from now, the recruiter's job was more like a gatekeeper. They'll go on platforms like LinkedIn or Naukri, more on Naukri, and they'll find a resume and they'll send it to the hiring manager. Then every other decision was made by the hiring manager, which includes resume reviewing as well. Uh, so basically, what I'm trying to say is 5 years ago, the recruiters were very unfamiliar with the concept of actually assessing a candidate when it comes to any role. They'll just go on Naukri, they'll write whatever is in the job description on the keyword, they'll find the resumes that are very keyword heavy with all highlights there. They'll speak with them, and then they'll rely completely on the hiring managers, which actually wasted a lot of time of hiring managers as well as the recruiters, because a lot of times they'll find someone who's not a match. Um, if I talk about right now with AI being into the picture, I won't go into very deep technology sector on for this particular conversation, and I'll let's just talk about ChatGPT. If I'm getting any role or any recruiter is getting any role these days, they can take it, go to ChatGPT, and ask it to create very basic screening questions that they can ask on the phone, right? So one is very basic. Recruiters have got the capability now to screen candidates. Number one, right? Technical screenings. Number two is with all of these assessment platforms, AI-driven assessment platforms coming in, yep, for product like yours. Now recruiters have that capability to use such products to go ahead and get that interview done or to get that screening done even before the hiring manager is involved. So what it does, it number one removes a lot of biases as well, because Uh, I won't take the name, but I used to work with an hiring manager back at one of my firms who would actually not want to hire someone with a specific degree, right? Uh, let's call it BCA, right? And these are software engineering roles. And if the moment you see a resume with either BCA or BSc written on his resume and rejected, irrespective of how good the candidate is, right? Back in the day. If I work with that hiring manager today, I will have enough data point using these AI tools to go back and tell him that his degree doesn't matter, his experience matter, which is verified already by using these AI tools, right? So that's number two. Number three is, I guess, the process efficiency of the entire recruitment, uh, you know, process, I would say. So when I say process efficiency, a lot of time of recruiters used to go in waste while making reports about how many offers or how many candidates did they called in a day, how many candidates did they got into L1s, L2s, L3s, level one round of interview, level two round of interviews, and all those things. But then when you realize now with these AI tools in the picture, they don't have to do that. They can go ahead and simply keep on scheduling interviews. This AI platform can go in and record all that information for them. So that is also saved. Now, from being someone who was a gatekeeper, just sitting down and checking how many highlights or how many keywords are there on the resumes. I remember, I mean, I used to do that. Um I would go on any job board. If I see a resume and if I see that the resume has, if I've written, let's say, one key strength, and I see that the resume is highlighted 20 times, it was an automatically that this guy is a good match. Also, the fact that people used to fake a little lesser back then on their resumes because they did not had AI, and a recruiter cannot be a product manager without an AI. So people used to fake resumes less as well. So though it used to help, but if you look at resumes right now and try to do that, be prepared to be failed, right? Because you cannot do anything about it. Everybody will copy a job description and create a resume in 30 seconds using ChatGPT now. So probably third is this particular process wherein uh, they don't just screen them, they don't just make the reports very easy, but they also get a holistic idea of a candidate by looking at their profile now. I can easily go on ChatGPT, put my job description, take a resume, submit it, and ask it if how good a match it is. 30 seconds job, but it gives a very comprehensive result, right? I'm talking about a very open source AI platform, right? You can use more HR tech focused AI platforms, which will give you even more in detail reports.
Perfect. Sounds good. I think your point definitely goes on to prove that AI is here to enable the recruitment team rather than the myth which is being you know in the mind of the recruiter or the industry that it is here to replace. And I'm a true brand ambassador of that as well. I keep reiterating myself, wherever I go and then talk, that you will not get replaced by AI, but
Absolutely.
definitely with somebody who's utilizing AI better than anybody else.
Yeah.
That's the norm. Perfect, great. Thank you so much, Akash, for sharing your insight. Now that actually leads me to my next question. As hiring becomes more automated, right, with all these tools and technology coming into the picture, AI kind of taking over. Uh, what human elements are still irreplaceable? Especially in high stake tech roles when we talk about senior roles or product managers and above. Senior front end back end developers. Where do you think that humans cannot be replaced by AI?
See, I'm a fan of AI. I use it every single day. And I can say it blindly, no matter what. If you specifically talk about leadership cater roles, right? Like senior roles, high stake roles, you cannot replace a human with AI. Majorly because of three reasons. Number one is context, number two is intuition, and number three is empathy. So it's extremely important to understand the context behind anyone's experience. As an example, let's say I train an AI model and I deploy it to do resume screening for me, right? And I put a context. If you're hiring for a leadership candidate, you would want someone who has been very stable through their careers, right? And let's say I train that model in a way that if someone has, let's say, switched a job in less than 1 year from an organization, these candidates are not good for me. If I've trained that, it will do that every single time. Whereas there can be a situation that there is a phenomenal candidate who's a perfect match to our role, but he spent less than 1 year at his last firm, let's say because his parents were ailing, or let's say, he just wanted a break after working for 20 years. Because at the end of the day, these people are people, these are humans, right? There are things that happen in their lives, right? And AI won't be able to understand that. And AI will not be able to put in that empathy or the context that if this stint was just 1 year long, why was it that? Why was it so? Or maybe the company laid off, maybe the company closed off, right? So that context and that empathy an AI cannot build in, because at the end of the day, it's an unbiased computer system, right?
Yes.
As a human, when you talk to a candidate, you need to understand the context behind whatever they have done. I've seen people who worked for, let's say, 6, 7, 8 years of their careers in one particular role, let's say software developer, were the best software developer in the market. They decided they wanted to become a pastry chef. Left that, went back to being a pastry chef. After being a pastry chef for 2, 3 years, they wanted to come back to technology because, let's say, they were not making enough money to support their families. Are these guys bad? No, they just chose a path that was a little different. And if they have the right set of technologies, before coming back into the tech, they have gone through all level of, let's say, training, certifications, courses, and whatnot. And then now they're giving an interview. They might be the perfect candidate for you, but an AI will reject them right away, right? So having that context of where a candidate is coming from, having an intuition based on the conversations that you have is completely different, because a resume would probably be, and plus there is this narrative in the market that hey, you don't make resumes more than 2 pages long, which I think that is absolutely crap. But let's say people think about it, that you don't make resumes more than 2 pages. Uh, how much can a person write about them in 2 pages, right? So the context, the intuition, and the empathy are the three things wherein AI is far behind right now. Maybe in the future, things can change. Nobody has seen the future. Maybe things change, but right now, I don't think you can take off these three capabilities of a human from an entire recruitment process.
No, of course. I think we'll have to wait for the AGI to come full fledged.
Hmm.
However, that goes on to prove, right? Uh, AI has been developed by humans. It's not the other way
Yeah,
around, right? So
absolutely.
the humans will always be at the center, controlling technology, and then making sure that whatever decisions are to be made by a human,
Hmm.
that can never be made by AI, right? So
Correct.
I think there would be certain points that you've rightly highlighted are the points which has to be taken by a human,
Hmm.
because we understand, we feel things,
Hmm.
we see things the way they are, and
Yeah.
then create a judgment around it. So of
Hmm.
course, thank you so much, Akash. That was a really great answer, I must say. uh, now slightly on the similar line,
Hmm.
while AI kind of reshaping pretty much everything from sourcing to
Hmm.
assessment, uh, where do you believe AI is currently overpromised
Hmm.
and where it is underutilized in recruitment today? There must be certain points where you feel that,
Hmm.
what, this, we, we don't require AI in this, right? Why are we over crowding the AI in this space? And then rather, this should be the space where we should
Hmm.
come up with more solution. We should see more open source solution or whatever. Do you have any comparison around it? Do you have any thoughts around that?
For sure. Overpromised, I have it on the tip of my tongue. Overpromised because a lot of, especially tech founders, right? Like, number one, I hate to say this, but when you look at people that come from technology background or tech founders, they don't understand the value that an HR or a recruitment team brings in, right? Which is unfortunate, but they eventually start doing it once they have certain shortfalls across their experiences, like good candidates not coming in or not staying in, and then they eventually want to hire an HR. But initially, they all start off in that way that we might not need an HR or a recruitment guy, right? Uh, and especially with AI coming in so strong, now they think that an AI can sit down and make the entire recruiting process. So over promising is definitely that people thinking that end to end of your recruiting can be done by an AI. It's not possible. It's just not possible because if an AI calls me, even I get calls from different sales for I generally get for sales, but I do get called from different AI platforms, right? I know it's better than IVR for sure,
Yes.
but still I don't feel that connect. I'll probably never buy from someone who calls me directly from an AI because I don't feel that connect, right? Recruiting is like sales, right? Until the time you're not able to trigger that emotion that, hey, I want to join this company, or till the time you're not able to trigger that feeling or sentiment that I have to work for this particular organization, till the time you'll always see backouts, right? So, overpromised is people thinking that you can use it for end-to-end process. And when it comes to underutilization, uh, I see a lot of companies coming in and doing assessments using AI, right? Which is a
Yes.
great thing. I'm not trying to diss this on them because it's a great thing. You need to do assessments using AI, but some level of candidate engagement can also be done using AI. What I'm trying to say here is I'll give you a very classic example that I'm sure every recruiter that will be hearing your podcast can relate to. The moment I post a job on LinkedIn, I'll get like 200 responses, right? 200 applications. And at least 100 of those people will reach out to me on LinkedIn trying to connect with me or try to speak with me.
Yes.
Almost impossible for me as a human to respond back to every single one of them,
Yes.
right? So this response, the moment you apply, and the auto-generated emails that go to people that, hey, you were not selected because we decided to move on with someone else, and all this is helps you in no way at all, right? It even decreases your employer brand. I would the place where the AI is underutilized a lot is giving back real feedbacks. When I say
Yes.
real feedbacks, what I mean, if there are 200 people that have applied to my job, all those 200 people should know what happened with their resumes. Even if they got rejected, what was the exact reason? Reasons like, hey, we decided to move on with someone else, and your job is still live for the next 2 months. It means you did nothing but serve me, a bunch of auto-generated emails, right? So having that core process that, hey, every single person that applies to your role will get a feedback, will get a detailed feedback. While our AI will assess their responses, it will generate a report for you as well as for them and tell them that, hey, you did well on this particular front. You were not up to the mark on these fronts specific. So if you want to apply for the next time, you come prepared. This is probably what I think where the AI is literally very underutilized and can be very powerful if someone can build an AI agent that can do this, that can give out
Oh,
feedbacks to everyone.
absolutely. It was a fantastic answer, Akash, because I can resonate, I can understand each and every word that you said, right? When you talk about underutilization of the AI and the pain that every candidate goes through while they apply for a job and they don't hear back. And I think it's almost 95% of the time when a recruiter gets to know that this person is rejected, they are not even bothered to kind of call him
Absolutely.
or email that person that you are rejected. And I think that is where, and I've been in the industry for past 20 years, right? I've worked with different tech companies. I've worked with companies like Wipro, American Express, Encore, and I've been part of early stage startups as well.
Hmm.
It is not that big companies are doing it and small startups are not doing it. It is the problem across industry, across
Hmm.
verticals where the feedback is not given. And I think that was my core vision when we created Einstellen, wherein after each and every interview there are two reports that gets created, right? One gets sent to the candidate who actually appeared for the interview, a
Hmm.
detailed feedback with each and every question, each and every answer, and then complete assessment that how did you perform, what is your score. So it is not just for the feedback, but also, let's say, if somebody is a 9 out of 10 and that person is underpaid, that
Yeah.
person should know their strength, that I am in the top 10% of this technology.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
should be paid like the top 10% of the industry. right? So it
Absolutely.
is creating that equal opportunity that can only take place when you know the feedback, when you have those
Mhm.
points right in front of you. Fantastic answer. I think I love that. Thank you so much, Akash. With that, what's the biggest myth you see HR leaders fall for when they adopt AI in hiring?
Yeah, so I would like to probably change the question a little bit. I mean, HR leaders, more than HR leaders, I would say leaders as a whole is what this question should cater to, irrespective of the domain. So people think bringing in AI can do everything for them. It will like disrupt their recruitment. It will change everything. What they fail to understand that AI is going to be just another tool in the bucket. The first thing that you need to do is fix if your recruitment process is broken or not. AI cannot change your process. What you can do, you want to automate assessments, you can bring in a platform, right? But you still need to work on your process, right? So I think one of the biggest myth that people have right now in recruitments is that they, or not just recruitment, I think overall, is that AI will fix everything. AI will fix broken processes just by adding it to the mix. It's like one secret masala every street vendor has, that if you put it in and the food becomes hell more tastier. It's not like that. AI is only good as the process is, and it is only good as your people using it are. Because AI always comes in raw format, right? Like you need to train it, you need to give it data or support it with data to learn, from. And then if your underlying hiring process is flawed, it is biased, or let's say lengthy, or even unclear, AI will also amplify those issues only, right? Like if I say, going back to the same example, that I don't want to hire from a BSc degree candidate, and if I go there and tell that to AI, it will start rejecting everyone with that BSc degree, right? So you need to first of all fix your process. You cannot just depend on this AI tool or any AI tool for that matter, that if it's inside, I'll be able to solve every problem. The first focus should be towards the process. If your process is completely optimized, you think it has the highest level of efficiency, if you think that we have the best turnaround times, we have the best uh, interview to offer ratios and offer to joiner ratios, then bring in AI, because AI can boost your process, it cannot change that. Basically, that is what I think is the biggest myth, that it will magically change the entire dynamics of everything.
Perfect. So that brings us to the end of today's conversation, and what a powerful one it was. Akash helped us look beyond the noise, reminding us that while AI can automate tasks, it is the intent behind the design that determines whether hiring becomes truly intelligent or just faster at being flawed. At Einstellen.AI, we believe hiring should be fully autonomous, radically efficient, and built on trust, not guesswork. And conversations like today reinforces why thoughtful leaders are essential to shaping systems that are not only faster but fundamentally fairer. If we want to fix hiring at scale, it's not about removing humans, it's about removing human inconsistencies. And to our listeners, keep questioning, keep building, and above all, keep pushing the hiring industry forward. Until next time, this is Zubair Choudhary from Einstellen.AI podcast series, where we reimagining hiring through AI native thinking. Thank you so much.